Manifestation in practice, how to feel before you have. Have you noticed how everyone talks about manifestation, abundance, and prosperity, but almost no one explains how to actually feel those things? When life still looks and feels stuck in scarcity, that's where frustration is born. People try to vibrate higher, change their mindset, trust the process, have faith, but inside, all they feel is insecurity, fear, and that old poverty programming whispering, "This isn't for you." And let's be honest, how is someone supposed to feel deserving, safe, and confident if they've spent their entire life normalizing lack? It's not a lack of effort. It's not a lack of desire. It's financial awareness, internal language, habits, and emotional frequency that were shaped over time. No one teaches this in school, and then later, they expect you to just believe. In this content, the approach is different. No magical promises, no unrealistic formulas. Here, manifestation is seen as a process, with patience, with internal adjustments, with small changes that shift your vibration in a realistic and sustainable way. You'll learn how to move out of scarcity without forcing emotions that don't exist yet, and how to create a new normalization of abundance, starting exactly where you are right now. The difficulty of feeling before being. One of the biggest blocks to manifestation isn't a lack of faith, and it isn't a lack of desire. It's the real difficulty of feeling something that hasn't happened yet. When someone hears, "Act as if it's already done," the mind short circuits. How do you feel financially safe when your entire history is scarcity? The body doesn't respond to abstract ideas. It responds to lived experiences, memories, and familiar emotions. Someone who has never had money doesn't truly know what it feels like to feel rich. And that's okay. The problem starts when they blame themselves, thinking they don't manifest because they don't believe enough. In reality, what exists is a mindset shaped by survival, by poverty programming, and by years of normalizing lack as something normal. This block is very common among people who came from difficult backgrounds, where thinking about abundance felt dangerous or even irresponsible. The mind learned to protect itself, not to expand. That's why before talking about high vibration, prosperity, or money frequency, we need to respect the emotional process and begin building that feeling slowly, honestly, and in a way that feels possible. Manifestation is a gradual process. Many people give up on manifestation because they think everything should change overnight. But life doesn't work like an on and off switch. Abundance is built in layers, through small, consistent improvements that gradually adjust your mindset, your frequency, and your relationship with money and life. Everyone has a different rhythm. Ignoring that only creates frustration. Some people expand quickly. Others need to move more carefully, respecting emotional limits created by past scarcity. Manifestation is not a competition. It's self-observation. It's building financial awareness and moving forward without internally harming yourself. Here, patience becomes a practical virtue, not resignation. It's understanding that every small step forward is already prosperity in motion. When you accept the process, trust grows, your vibration stabilizes, and the fear of doing it wrong begins to fade, naturally opening space for the next level. Poverty programming. Poverty programming doesn't live only in your bank account. It lives in daily details. An obsessive focus on price, constantly hunting for the cheapest option, feeling proud for saving pennies, even when it creates stress. Without realizing it, the mind learns that surviving is more important than thriving. Another classic sign is guilt around spending money. Even when you can afford it, you buy something you need or want, and instead of gratitude, you feel anxiety. That happens because the brain associates spending with danger, as if abundance were too fragile to be enjoyed safely. And then there's the constant fear of running out. Even when it never truly happened, you always found a way. A solution always appeared. But the mind ignores that. These patterns reinforce scarcity, keep your vibration low, and make manifestation return more of the same. Identifying these programs is the first step to dismantling them. Normalizing abundance. People who live in abundance don't spend all day trying to manifest money, because for them, money is normal. Resources, comfort, and choices are part of their identity, their internal language, and their mindset. What feels natural doesn't create resistance. That's why it flows. As long as abundance feels distant, difficult, or for few people, manifestation gets stuck. The mind doesn't move toward what it believes is unrealistic. That's why expanding what you consider normal is more important than dreaming too big, without emotional stability to support it. Normalizing prosperity starts with small shifts, allowing yourself to desire without guilt, being around success stories without envy, consuming content that raises your frequency. Little by little, abundance stops feeling like an exception and starts becoming part of the background, preparing the ground for the next step, using real memories to create emotion, instead of trying to imagine a completely unknown reality. The smartest path is using real memories to access real emotions. The mind trusts what it has already lived, remembering moments when you overcame challenges, paid your bills, or achieved something meaningful, activates a concrete sense of safety and confidence. Many people forget that, despite emotional scarcity, nothing ever truly lacked. There was always food, shelter, unexpected solutions. Bringing these memories to awareness automatically shifts your vibration, because the body recognizes the abundance that already existed, even in hard times. Recalling personal wins, your first car, a trip, partial financial independence, creates genuine gratitude. This is an illusion. It's memory. And that kind of practice strengthens faith, adjusts emotional frequency, and prepares your inner world for manifestation to continue unfolding naturally. Emotional safety and trust. The constant fear of unexpected problems doesn't come from the present. It comes from accumulated mental scarcity. Even when life is stable, the mind stays on alert, waiting for the next issue. That internal state weakens trust and keeps your frequency vibrating in insecurity. A powerful exercise is remembering how many times life tested you, and you handled it. A solution always appeared. Help came. An idea showed up. When you recognize this consciously, safety stops being external and becomes internal, strengthening manifestation. Training the mind to trust life's flow isn't ignoring reality. It's expanding perception. Faith is not naivety. It's well-worked emotional memory. The more you recognize your ability to navigate challenges, the more stable your vibration becomes to sustain higher levels of prosperity. Small practical actions of abundance. Manifestation gains power when it leaves theory and enters behavior. Small, practical actions of abundance teach the brain that danger has passed. Buying something you want without guilt within your reality gently rewires poverty programming. A simple exercise. Occasionally choose an item at the store without checking the price first. This isn't irresponsibility. It's breaking the scarcity autopilot. The same applies to eating at a restaurant without choosing only the cheapest option and noticing how your body reacts. These small habits shift internal language, increase self-worth, and adjust emotional frequency. Little by little, the mind learns that abundance is also safety. Small gestures, almost invisible, but powerful enough to prepare the ground for bigger changes. It's not about overspending. Talking about abundance doesn't mean being reckless with money. That's not manifestation. That's escape. True prosperity walks alongside financial awareness, clarity, and emotional responsibility. No extremes, no guilt afterward. The idea is to take small, conscious steps, respecting where you are right now, like dipping your toe in the water before diving in. The body feels safer, the mind relaxes, and vibration rises without resistance. When you act with intention, even simple gestures carry a different frequency. Trust grows, self-sabotage fades. This balance creates a solid foundation for manifestation to flow sustainably. language, and inner dialogue. The way you speak reveals and reinforces your inner reality. Phrases like, I can't, I don't have, I'm going to run out, may seem harmless, but they carry scarcity frequency. The mind hears everything, all the time, and turns language into emotional and behavioral patterns. Changing these phrases isn't fake positivity, it's direction. Replacing them with statements like, I always have what I need, or I am supported, creates a new internal sense of safety. At first, it may feel strange. With repetition, it becomes normal. This inner dialogue adjusts mindset, strengthens trust, and sustains abundance vibration. Slowly, the body relaxes, decisions change, and manifestation begins to respond. How you speak to yourself prepares the ground for the next level. Manifestation is like planting a seed. Manifestation is a lot like planting a seed. You choose it, place it in the right soil, care for it, and then you trust. Digging it up every day to see if it's growing only delays the process. Abundance responds better to calm faith, not anxiety disguised as effort. Visualization, habits, language, and emotional frequency are part of the cultivation. But after that, you must release control. A mind trained in scarcity wants immediate proof. Prosperity asks for patience and presence. There is a right timing for everything, and it rarely matches our emotional clock. When you learn to trust that timing, internal safety increases, and manifestation flows with less resistance. Practice, consistency, and patience. Manifestation is not an event. It's training. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't respond to bursts of motivation, followed by giving up. Abundance is built through consistency, repeating small adjustments in mindset, language, and habits. Over time, even when nothing seems to change, it could take months, sometimes years, to reprogram deep scarcity patterns. And that's okay. Fear, insecurity, and doubt are part of the path. They don't mean failure. They mean expansion. Persistence turns attempts into reality. Each time you choose a little more trust, even with fear present, your frequency adjusts. Prosperity is born from this quiet commitment to the process, respecting your rhythm, and strengthening your emotional foundation. Final reflection: trust, faith, and practice change everything when they walk together. This isn't about denying reality. It's about consciously choosing a mindset that sustains abundance. While the external world adjusts, manifestation begins in the invisible, in emotional state, in vibration, in what you cultivate daily. The truth is, you already have everything you need to prosper. Strength, emotional intelligence, adaptability, worthiness. What changes is awareness, how you see yourself, and what you normalize as possible. When the inside organizes, the outside responds. Prosperity stops being a distant dream and becomes a living process. Under construction, nothing is late. Everything is happening at the right time as you allow yourself to feel, trust, and move forward. So here's the question that remains. Simple, but powerful. What can you start doing today to shift your emotional frequency? Not tomorrow, not when everything is perfect. Now, within your reality. What small habit, language adjustment, or act of trust can you practice to signal abundance to your own system? Reflect. Were you still operating from fear, not real necessity? And where is there already prosperity that you stopped acknowledging? Manifestation isn't waiting for something to fall from the sky. It's actively participating in the process with awareness, patience, and faith. Even when insecurity shows up, if this content helped you see manifestation in a more practical and human way, start applying one point at a time. And to keep deepening your mindset, habits, and relationship with money, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you walk this path with more clarity, safety, and direction.